Al, always good to see you, and Happy New Year.
You too, Mark. Happy New Year to you.
All right, any more motivation for the Jets here to end that 15-game losing streak? Send Bill Belichick potentially out of New England with a loss?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a bowl game kind of for both teams. Belichick absolutely wants to beat the Jets, wants this streak to keep going. And the Jets want to beat New England. They want to end the streak. They're tired of hearing about it. There are guys here who have never beaten the Patriots. Quinnen Williams, John Franklin Myers, Bryce Huff, guys who have been here for a while. They've just never beaten the Patriots. So there's definite motivation. Even the guys who came in last year, every time we talk to them about they never won a game, they haven't won a game in the AFC East in like 3 years. They wanted to end that streak. They wanted to end the long playoff streak. That hasn't happened. But here you go. You have an opportunity to end this streak. So I think it's something that they're all motivated for.
All right, earlier this week, Al, the Jets and running back Dalvin Cook mutually agreed to part ways. What a waste of $6+ million. Why do you think it failed here for Dalvin with the Jets?
Yeah, I mean, when something like that happens, you look at the player, you look at the scheme, you look at the coach, you look at everything. I think that, obviously they spent too much money on him, but this was someone that they thought they were going to rely on with Aaron Rodgers, someone that could split carries and touches early with Breece Hall as he returned from his ACL injury, but it just never materialized. Now, there are times I say, Dalvin didn't look like the same player he was with Minnesota, a four-time, Pro Bowler, but there are other times I know from watching him over the years, he's the type of guy who gets stronger as the game goes on. So if he's not getting the ball, that he's not going to break that one later and later and later. There were a couple times this year where I thought, he had a couple good runs and then they took him out. I understand that Breece is their guy and he's tremendous. He's phenomenal, but it was a bad move from what they wanted to do. And it's money that could have been spent elsewhere because obviously offensive line, backup quarterback, wide receiver, these are things they needed to address.
All right, the owner, Woody Johnson, on record saying Saleh, company, they're all coming back next year. Let me throw this one at you, though, Al. If Jim Harbaugh decides to leave Michigan and go to the National Football League, is that a call Woody's got to make?
I know people think that, but it's also a tough one because if you do that, you're blowing everything up. And I say that from the standpoint of you can't bring back the offensive coordinator. And I think that's the biggest thing. You have Aaron Rodgers here. He wants to play for Nathaniel Hackett. He wants to do it with his buddy who they built this offense together. And it's kind of hard to tell a coach, well, here, you can come in here, but you can't bring a coach in with you. And I think that makes the Jets a little less appealing from that standpoint. So I think that's why they're running it back, giving it one last try. Look, everything we know is about Aaron Rodgers. Dalvin Cook was here because of Aaron Rodgers. Alan Lazard was here because of Aaron Rodgers. All these things that didn't really work out, they want to give it another try. So I think that's why they're going with the same staff, basically.
Al, Week 1, 2024 regular season, do you think Devonte Adams is lining up at wideout for the Jets?
I do. I mean, I think they're going to do everything they can to get him. If it's not him, you're going to see a Mike Evans or a T. Higgins. They know they need to improve the offensive line, and they need to get another wide receiver here, a 1A to go with Garrett Wilson. Obviously, his relationship with Aaron makes it a no-brainer. They were a great tandem in Green Bay. They want to play together. They remain friends. They hung out together in Las Vegas when the Jets were there earlier this year. I think they're going to do everything they can to get him, but the Raiders have to be willing to deal him. So if they're not, then they got to spend money on either Mike Evans or T. Higgins or Michael Pittman. You got to get another receiver in here, no doubt about it.
All right, Al, I'll put you on the record. Jets win Sunday, snap this losing streak, or does Belichick potentially end his run up in New England by beating the team he hates?
I'm picking New England because I've only seen Bill beat the Jets. That's all I've done. 6 years with the team, and a lot of times, pretty handily. It's going to be different here. Trevor Siemian is starting instead of Zach Wilson, who I think is 0-5 against the Pats. But I just think that, they're going to want to go out on top with Bill with a win. And I think Bill's going to do everything he can to get that.